Today is Sunday, Parashat Pinchas. It's also the day that we observe the fast of Shvais Rebbe Tammuz, the 17th of Tammuz. 17th of Tammuz was actually yesterday, Shabbat. Since we do not fast on Shabbat, we postpone the fast to today. The fast of the 17th of Tammuz is because of 5 things that happened. Number 1 is when Moshe Rabbeinu came down and saw the people worshipping the golden calf, he broke the luchot, the set of tablets of the Torah. So that happened on the 17th of Tammuz. Also, the wall around Jerusalem was breached, allowing the enemy to get into Jerusalem, which eventually resulted in the destruction of Bittan 3 weeks later on Tisha B'Av. Also, the Korban HaTamid was stopped. The daily sacrifices brought on the Mizbeach were stopped on the day of the 17th of Tammuz. The 4th thing that happened is Mussar burnt the Torah, scroll of Torah. And then finally there was an idol that was placed in the Echal inside Bet HaMikdash. So we fast today, and the fasting is actually to inspire us into humility and to looking into our ways to see what we can improve, what we can do better, and how we can resolve those sins that were in the period of the destruction of the temple. Actually, this day begins the period known as the 3 weeks of Ben HaMetzarim, where we observe certain rules that are more associated with mourning. And still, even though it's a very sad period of the year, it's supposed to be a period that brings us to inspire us to correct our ways and to do better. One thing could be adding more learning of Torah, doing more acts of kindness towards each other, being tolerant towards each other, refraining from improper speech, all sorts of actions that a person can do to bring peace amongst people, to make up with people maybe you haven't been getting along with. All these are the type of things that we should be inspired into during this period of these 3 weeks, to make right what was wrong in the period that brought about the destruction of the first and the second temple. We're learning from Chok L'Israel the Mussar for today. Al tehi tzaddik arbe. Do not be excessively righteous. What does it mean, don't be excessively righteous? Isn't it a good thing to be a tzaddik, to be strict with many things, with halachot, etc.? And he brings an example here. Hare she'ayta isha tova ad banar, uviatcha le'atzil, אל תאמר אני מניחה לטבוע כי איך אלך ואראה את ערוותה. If there was a woman that was drowning in the river and you are capable of saving her, don't say, no, I cannot come close to her. It's okay, she can drown, because how can I go and get close to this lady and see maybe her nakedness? That would be an example of being excessively righteous, when a person should not. There are times where, of course, you do not pay attention to this aspect of coming close to a lady who's not dressed properly. You go and save that lady from drowning. There are many times when people, through them being strict, are creating actually a leniency. An example of fast day. If a person, in terms of his health, is not able to fast, and he will put him at risk in any way, an elderly person, a person who's sick, even if there is no danger in his illness, but that illness would make it not right for him to fast, and he should not fast. He should not say, no, he's going to be righteous and fast. No. There are times when a person, not only is he allowed to refrain from fasting, but the mitzvah would be for him to not fast, because through that way he would be fulfilling the mitzvah of nishmartem le'od malshotechem v'chai b'hem. And we see this sometimes maybe with people who do teshuvah on their way to becoming more observant of mitzvot, that it's difficult sometimes for people to realize the relative importance of mitzvot. So you see a lady that's drowning in the river, even though she is not dressed, it's ni'ut properly, just jump into the river and save her. You'll be fulfilling a mitzvah rather than not. So this is an example that is brought for what it means to don't be excessively righteous. Why should be that? You should be desolate, and it will be considered a sin on your part, and you'll be punished for it if you don't jump to save that lady. We should learn from Shaul שחמר על אגג ועשה קל וחומר של שטות. ועל דבר זה נתעד. Brings an example from Shaul HaMelech, who refrained from killing Agag, and he did some kind of reasoning that brought him to refrain from killing Agag, but that was improper reasoning, just like this person says, I'm not going to jump into the river, and he reasons, because I cannot save her and come close to this lady who's not dressed properly. The Mussar goes on afterwards to speak about proper health. Lo yochal adam ela im ken yirav. Person should not eat unless he's hungry. And unfortunately, many times people overeat or eat even though they're not hungry, just because it's there and it looks good and it looks tasty. So a person should eat only when he's hungry. Velo yishteh ela im ken yitzma. And a person should not drink unless he's thirsty. If he's not thirsty and he keeps drinking, that's not proper either. Ve'al yasheh lekavav afilu sha'ahat. And a person should not delay relieving himself if he feels he needs to go to the restroom, not even for a moment. שכל זמן שהאדם צריך להשתין או להסך את רגליו ועמוד נקביו, מיד נסתכן ויפול לידי כל ידרו כאן. Because if a person refrains himself from, when he feels the need to urinate or to go to the restroom to relieve himself, if he restrains himself, that could endanger him into getting some illnesses. So that's why when a person feels the need to go to relieve himself, he shouldn't hold back, he should go and relieve himself. This is good advice for health. This is Mussar, this is proper way to act, and actually it's a mitzvah. והאדם חייב להבריא את עצמו. And a person is obligated to keep himself healthy. Proper diet, proper way to, maybe even to exercise from time to time, to do all those things that make him into a healthy person. Part of it is eat when you're hungry, drink when you're thirsty, relieve yourself when you need to. And all this so that you will be able, so you'll be able to serve your Creator. And if a person doesn't relieve himself when he needs to, he will be violating the mitzvah of do not make yourself abominable. So this is, Mussar teaches us today the importance of observing good rules that have to do with good health, whatever. And many times people know what are those things that they should eat and not eat, yet they do not observe the rules that they really should. And a person, a person should be wise enough to follow what is the proper behavior to maintain good health so that he would be able to serve his Creator. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.